Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're gonna begin a series of talking about the big trades that happened, and we're gonna begin this with the Cavs getting DeAndre Hunter. So they got DeAndre Hunter, and essentially what they lost is Niang and LeVert. So we're gonna discuss what Hunter brings to the Cavs, and more importantly, what the Cavs lost with Niang and LeVert, and see if who is essentially gonna step up and what that's gonna mean overall for the Cavs if it changes anything. Let's go. The first thing of note that I think is really important is when DeAndre Hunter's in the game, he's a very good three-point shooter. He shot the ball extremely well this year and recently. And so when he's in the game, he's not going to limit the spacing the Cavs have. We can see this first on this drive by Mobley here. When he gets to the middle, there's no other traffic. It's just him versus Naz Reid, which is exactly what the Cleveland Cavaliers want. Even if Naz Reid plays good defense, they want one-on-one matchups. The Cavs have built themselves around this idea of having a bunch of spacing, and they've done an exceptionally good job of it. And so having opportunities where you can have Ty Jerome coming downhill and him having one-on-one with a guard who's off balance instead of having other people shading towards him and providing help, that is, again, what the Cleveland wants. So then one of the big questions I think is going to be, these minutes that Niang and LeVert lost are going to be replaced by Jerome, Tyson, Porter, and Merrill. They're the ones that got more minutes. Here's Porter over here. We saw Jerome on a drive earlier. He's been playing quite a bit anyway. Tyson, Porter, and Merrill as well. The questions are going to be, essentially, whether teams can afford to see them as liabilities and sag off them. So the first good example is we see Porter over here, and we see Garland is still able to drive with no help coming off from the defenders. And so that, I think, is a good sign that he's able to get this layup, although I don't know why Naz Reid or other defenders aren't helping down more. Of those four players, we know that Jerome's a very good shooter already. Merrill is a very good shooter already. The two asterisks, I think, are Porter and Tyson. I think those are the interesting ones. As we can see, again, the defense is staying close to Porter over here. So if the defense is going to guard you on the perimeter, even if you don't shoot that many threes, it's still a win. And it doesn't matter if the defense chooses to do that because it gives you space on the inside. However, I think it's more telling to look at the drives where the Cavs had a lot of traffic, where there were bodies helping off, and see where the help came from. So as Hunter is coming downhill right here, in particular, Porter Jr. is chilling right here. So I guess the dunker spot is a decent location if they can't shoot. However, it leaves another defender in the vicinity. And so that's just one more person that Hunter has to worry about when driving downhill. And so if he's able to space the floor, I'd rather have him space the floor early instead of going there late, where Anthony Edwards is kind of able to provide a little bit of help and make it so, like, even though he doesn't block that shot or get it or even like throw a hand up, he's still in there where DeAndre Hunter has to worry about him, and it gives Rudy Gobert a little bit of time to recover as well. And then this next drive, we're going to actually see three of the players that are going to get more minutes. First off, this is Merrill over here, this is Tyson over here, and this is Jerome over here. So Jerome we know is a good shooter, Merrill we know is a good shooter. Tyson is the one that's semi-question mark. So if you have Jarrett Allen and Tyson in the game, our team's going to essentially just leave Tyson to help off. That is one of the big questions. We can see Anthony Edwards aggressively comes over, and Anthony Edwards isn't looking to play super rigid defense right here, but still you can see that even the fact that he was able to come over provides, I think, a bit of an asterisk for Cleveland. Their coaching staff is definitely going to be looking at this and see if they need to provide someone with more spacing than Tyson down here. I know Tyson, I think he plays good defense. I think pretty sure he's athletic. I haven't watched that much of him, but obviously he was able to get the rebound right there and put it back up, which is a good finish. But we'll see how he impacts their offense. I'll be curious. But Ty Jerome, we know is a good shooter. This is the best example in this game. This is actually a great example of him being a pretty good defender awareness-wise, and then also a good shooter. Pretty bad pass by the Timberwolves right there, as there's 1 second on the clock. That's brutal. It's a good shot by Jerome, and then Merrill has been a pretty consistently high three-point shooter. Again, we see Tyson spaced over here. So if defenders stay attached to him when he's spaced right here, then I think that will be fine for the Cavs. However, we'll see if that happens. But we can see Merrill over here. McDaniels helps off a little bit on this Darius Garland drive, and just a quick pass out there. He's got a quick release and obviously shoots at a high percentage. So that is something that meshes with Cleveland very well. And then Porter, I'll actually throw in the same conversation as Tyson. He doesn't shoot threes very much, and so I'm curious if teams will help off. But here, this is a good example of Mike Tyson. This is, I think, the 1-3 he made in the game, but a good kick out, and he's not hesitant to shoot that ball. Quick release again. So if he can shoot that with a high efficiency, that is exactly what Cleveland wants. And then to focus on DeAndre Hunter for a bit, he didn't have that many drives. We saw one earlier with Rudy Gobert, but he's obviously going to be athletic getting downhill. Very good defender, very good offensive player. And I love that defender goes under the screen and he's able to stop and make them pay. That meshes so well with what Cleveland is trying to do. And so again, we see pick and roll. As the roller's coming downhill, DeAndre Hunter moves side to side, which I love that from the Cavs offense. And so that's going to put essentially the help defense in a difficult situation. Do they stay? Do they go? And DeAndre Hunter is going to be wide open over here, and a pretty clean pass. That's a very good pass by Evan Mobley into a wide open corner three. And DeAndre Hunter is the perfect fit for that. And then a couple possessions later, and I love this even more, is the fact that the defense knows you're a threat. That's what I love. Evan Mobley goes downhill. We can see Jared Allen has a free lane. And so what we're looking for right here is essentially, what does Naz Reid do? Does he stay attached? Does he help down? Okay. As the ball gets in, Naz Reid is like, I can't help. Jared Allen has great post position. And so that, I think, is a great sign because it gives the interior of your offense so much room to work with. And so I personally am a huge supporter of DeAndre Hunter, what he's going to bring to the team for sure. I am curious to see how the role players mesh, but if anything can allow these kinds of plays, then I think Cleveland is still going to be in good hands. Notice the spacing here is the thing I've been talking about. Giving Donovan Mitchell this whole room to work with no help is such a good recipe for success. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to like and subscribe. I'm going to actually start posting on Twitter more. I'll put that link in the first row of the description. Feel free to check that out. But most importantly, have a blessed rest of your day.